YouTube does not push my videos or pretty much anybody's, even if you're subscribed and hit the bell notification. You actually have to go to my channel manually yourself to find the videos and watch them. So if you like what you're seeing here, the information that I provide, the philosophical essays, the cerebral content, the book reviews, etc., you're going to have to manually go to my YouTube channel and find the videos. I post new videos every day, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for the video essays in particular. Hello everyone, welcome to day 344 and Tell Me YouTube Millionaire. Today is going to be a review of the book Goodnight Mr. Tom by Michelle Magorian. So this book takes place during the initial bombardments in the United Kingdom of World War II. And essentially what happens is this kid, his name is William, goes to the country, to a man named Thomas Oakley's home, because they're evacuating London during these bombardments that Germany is carrying out on the United Kingdom. But it turns out to be a lot more than just a simple evacuation and all that interesting stuff. So William is actually being abused by a batshit crazy, evil woman that is his mother. And Thomas, Mr. Oakley, discovers this pretty quickly when William is at his home in the country. He's bruised all over his body. He's emaciated, way smaller than all the other kids because of that. He doesn't know how to read. He doesn't know how to write because his mother has been basically telling him that such things are the devil and all that. Something that I really liked about the story was that it showed, well, I mean, it's a good story just in general. But yes, the crazy woman was faithful, or she thought she was, right? And she was crazy and not being a good representation of the faith. But so too was Tom faithful. And everybody else in his town, actually. His town is Little Weirwold. Interesting name, right? Weird World, essentially. And that really did wonders to ensure that the readers of such a book would not be dissuaded from the faith by a bad example of it. Because we are humans. We are not Jesus. We serve him, but we are not him. So it gave a very good juxtaposition that we are where the rubber meets the road. And when you have a very bad person being an example of those who follow said faith or claim to, it's a dangerous proposition. So this book, written in 1981, is a great method by which children can be taught very important concepts in elementary school. Middle school, perhaps. This is probably a good 7th grade story to read. It's not very complicated, simple to understand language. Longer than... it's a fairly long book. It's about 370 pages long, but easy to understand. So it combines history, teaching middle school students about World War II and the bombardments of the United Kingdom by Germany, teaches them about household abuse, teaches them about mental disorders, teaches them about faith and how we are where the rubber meets the road, and we are the ones that are supposed to make the world a better place using that faith. It's up to us. God has charged us with that. It's our job. Yeah. It's very good because it doesn't just teach you about those things, but it's an exceptionally engaging story as well. It comes to a head, essentially, where Willie's mother goes totally insane and asks for Willie back in London for a period of time, which obviously Tom, not being the guardian of Willie, has to accept it, has to let him go back. He goes back, and she tortures him and throws him into a cupboard under some stairs. And while he's there, Willie discovers that his mother had another child that she was just totally neglecting. The child had poop all over themselves and was in a box in her house because she was mentally insane. She didn't know what she was doing. So Tom, having a nightmare about what was going on with Willie in London, decides, after some discussion with some other people in his town, that he's going to go back to London and rescue Willie. So he does. And he brings his dog Sammy with him. Sammy is that little border collie right there on the cover. Sammy and Tom go to where Willie and his mother are supposed to live. Thankfully, Sammy's there because he insists, Sammy does, barking and jumping up and down, that they break open the door to see what's going on because there's no movement at all except for some furniture sounds in the middle of the night. So they do. It smells to high heaven in there because of all the human feces and stuff, and they hear some whimpering. Sammy goes to the cupboard under the stairs, finds Willie in there. They break him out, and he's just totally covered in his own excrement, and he's clutching the baby in his hands in a blanket, and he's got a little bottle with him where he was feeding the baby. The baby is not alive anymore. So they take Willie to the hospital, get him taken care of. A psychiatrist tries to take him away into a children's home because his mother has basically gone off to the coast or something for some religious retreat, is what she said. It was not that. It was very bad stuff. So Tom goes through a whole process of essentially, after, Willie's been taken to the hospital before he's taken to a children's home because obviously he's totally destroyed from what happened. They shaved his head and everything. So Tom steals him to prevent him from being taken to that home because the psychiatrist was not going to give him the treatment that he needed. The fresh air, the compassion, the love, an actual good father who's going to be there for him. And several months pass after that. Willie's best friend, who's a Jewish young man by the name of Zachariah, gets unfortunately killed in a bombardment in London. And Zachariah was actually one of the people who lived in Little Weirwold, but his parents had gone to London to help with the Red Cross stuff. And unfortunately, he was caught up in a bombardment and died along with his parents. And it takes months for Willie to recover from this until eventually he goes out to the wilderness and basically says that, I hate you, God, I hate you, and starts just bawling because he's so furious. And this kid got a rough go of things from the very start of his life. A horrible mother, right in the middle of World War II's start, and his best friend was just unalived. And Willie almost passed away under a freaking staircase, and he was grasping a passed away baby. So he comes back from screaming in the forest at himself and at God, understandably angry, totally understandably angry. And then he says to Tom, "I'm sorry, I was late, Dad. I had to do something myself." And that night, Tom goes into his bed and Willie goes into his, And Mr. Oakley's crying because he's like, he called me dad. One damn word. One word. And it turns out that Willie's mother had gone away and actually committed unaliving because life was just not worth it to her. It could very well have, we don't find out why she did that aside from her being insane, but it could very well have been that she had a sudden awakening of what she did to that baby as well as to Willie. But I tell you, if Tom and the rest of his town were not faithful, then it would have broken Willie's faith. It would have broken it. And that was crucially important. There were so many good lessons in this book, especially for a 7th grader, 8th grader, right around that time frame, so 11 to 13 years old. I cannot give it a high enough praise and a high enough recommendation, especially for young men and women, or young girls and boys that age. Great history lesson, great lesson on psychology and mental disturbances, great lesson on what it actually means to be a Christian. It's just an overall, all-around good book. I strongly recommend. So, this is like just a hair away from being put into my S tier list books. It's that close. It's like an A+ tier. Very, very good. Highly recommend. So that's what I got for you guys today. Yeah. Hopefully you read it. Let me know what you think. Love y'all. Peace.